Well, SD WAN means software-defined wide area network, right? It's a new way to approach routing in the world of cloud computing, right? And SD WAN is about using policy-based rules to orchestrate the routing of all your applications in the cloud world. And so it's all about being simple, and it's about having a way to take advantage of the power of cloud that old-fashioned 20th century old routers really couldn't do. They didn't have the flexibility, power, and agility to do what SD WAN can do. So it's a very important new development in the world of networking, and it's going to run the table over the next 5 years in terms of everyone's purchase and deployment of networking worldwide. Right now there's, I think, according to Gartner, 38 different companies claiming to be SD WAN companies because it's the flavor of the day. And really, what people are saying is if they have some sort of software that does some kind of addressing or routing, that makes them SD WAN. And that's a piece of it. But we think there's a bigger world. The SD WAN it's a base level in a larger world of what we call cloud networking, where you need the policy-based orchestration of your routing that SD WAN provides, but then have the full end-to-end services that people want in a networked routing world, including the WAN optimization, visibility, the access to Wi-Fi, and to the LAN resources of all the spots that you're routing and doing your networking to. When we started Riverbed, and when the big networking companies like Juniper and Cisco started, it was a simple world. A CIO had an on-prem server serving to his knowledge workers at the edge across a captive MPLS network, right? That was the world in 2002, 16 years ago when we started our company. In 2018, which is coming up, you still have the on-prem server, the people at the edge, but now the CIO has to mix and match. He's got to have SaaS applications coming in, Workday, Office 365, Salesforce. He's got to be able to access AWS from Amazon. He's got to be able to access Microsoft Azure. He's got to be able to bring in Office 365. And he's got to mix and match that with his own on-prem server. And he wants to use not only captive MPLS, but he also wants to take the advantage of cheaper internet broadband that's out there. Let branch offices go what's known as direct to net from the branch to these cloud services, as well as backhauling across the MPLS to the data center. The type of network that exists right now, the 20th century network, is really not meant to do that. It's not flexible. It's very clumsy and cumbersome to reprogram routers, particularly if you have hundreds and thousands of them. You have to write literally thousands of lines of what's known as CLI commands, command line interfaces, to make a router do what you want. So you can't really take advantage of all the power of the cloud with old-fashioned network technology. So SD WAN allows you to mix and match MPLS with internet broadband. It allows you to, from a single interface point, reorient the way your routers work based on rules and policies by application type, rather than being hardware-based in layer 2 and 3. You have the advantage of being software-based using application knowledge at layer 7. This is very powerful for people. It's much simpler, and it brings in all the benefits of cloud computing and the cost benefits of being able to substitute internet broadband in place of expensive MPLS. It's nascent. It's still beginning. So it's really only been around about 18 months. It'll probably take off faster than most markets have because the benefits are so extreme. The need for it is there. People want it, but there's still a lot of tire kicking. We've been in it about a year and a half now. We have between 400 and 500 paying customers, so we're probably ahead of the mob in this. All the POCs are coming to fruition. Like I said, we already have 400 purchases. I think the first half of 2018, we'll see it deepen. I think it'll take off second half of 18 and then be full bore 2019, 2020. You'll have the use cases, you'll have big accounts who are willing to be referenceable, you'll have the channel partners and the service providers used to it, and it'll just be the topic of the day in the entire networking world.